Good morning, and welcome to the CheckDown. You know what I'm saying? Where you can find your money in the flats. I got my boy Certified and JMik in here. How y'all feeling this morning, brothers?
I'm feeling pretty good, man.
Yeah, bro. On the right side of 6 feet.
Anytime we can wake up on that side, we feel good. You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
blessing.
So listen, I know people gonna tune in. Y'all people gonna tune in. It's normally Eagles, but today I have a Niner and a Patriot here, man. We gonna give y'all a full week preview. Gonna give you a semi preview of the college football week. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna give you a few of our parlays that we might think you could put on your ticket to get you a little dollar or two. You know what I'm saying? But we appreciate all y'all for coming out, man. Hope you got your coffee. You know, so we're gonna start with the college game. Uh, Anybody stay up last night and watch that Oregon State? You know what I'm saying? 21-7 win last night.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, man, I caught the second half and I really wasn't impressed by either team, especially Utah. Their offensive line is dog water, man. They couldn't block a phone call, but in my opinion, Oregon State really didn't take advantage of any of the three and outs or turnovers that they forced. They were just as sloppy on offense. So it second half was a snooze fest as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I didn't watch the game, but going into the game, I actually bet on Oregon State to cover the spread. I think the spread was 3.5. And I just figured that Oregon State had like their offense is better. I mean, the defenses are kind of I don't want to say they're the same, but they're in the same neighborhood or whatever. So I'd always thought that Oregon State was going to win the game. So that's how I went into it, and like I said, I didn't watch it, but that's pretty much what happened. So.
Yeah, I thought Oregon State was gonna pull it out, but I thought Utah, coming off the couple big wins they've had, thought they could make it a closer game than that. I
Yeah,
didn't really think they would get beat by two possessions, but when you're coming in, sometimes you don't bring your best game, you get beat. I mean, that's just we seen that last week with Colorado and you know Oregon. Colorado didn't come with uh any type of ambition to win that game. They just were glad to be where they were. It felt like, and I think there was a hit in the mouth to make them wake up. You know what I'm saying? Because everything ain't promised. Wins ain't promised. Just because you 3-0 don't mean you're gonna be 4-0. And maybe this week they'll give a better fight to USC. I don't think they'll win the game, but I think they can give a better fight. You
I
got to
don't
win
know, bro.
certified?
I don't know, bro. I don't think effort is going to change their trenches, man. They a little undersized, man, on both sides of the ball, defensive line and offensive line. They're a little undersized, and I feel like I honestly think it's going to get worse. They're going to start to get wore down as the seasons go on, and it's probably not going to be pretty today,
I mean, for
especially
me,
if Caleb gets going early.
like I always looked at for Colorado this 2 game stretches. They weren't ever going to win both of them. They'd be lucky to win one of them. And then I just never thought they had a shot at like the Oregon game because Oregon's defense is much better than USC's defense. I mean, I think the only chance they have is like they got to be able to run the ball better this week. And they got to tackle better because the tackling last week was really bad. I was watching that game and I was just like, they expect, I mean, for Oregon to go down after the first contact. And I mean, Oregon's, it's a top 15 program. It just didn't, it wasn't going to work that way. But I mean, today, like, they're not going to be able to shut down Caleb. I mean, Caleb's going to put up the points. Like, he might put up maybe 30, 40, who knows how many more, even maybe more than that. It's just that they offense got to score, and if they offense don't score, it's going to get ugly. That's just it is what it is because they're not going to be able to stop USC.
So I see Big Slick came in. He said Caleb anytime touchdown. I mean, I would have took him for anytime touchdown regardless. I mean, no matter how you felt about the game, Caleb Williams is one of those guys where he on the field, he gonna score, at least score. And I mean, I don't know if he runs the ball enough for me to really take the anytime touchdown. I think they have him at 1.5 today, right?
No, I got to be more than that.
That's got to be more than that.
Caleb?
Well, at the beginning of the week they had him at 1.5, but I haven't checked it this morning. Let's see what they got him at.
I mean, I don't remember him running the ball, like running in, like, he'll scramble and then he'll get yards that way, but I just don't know if he's going to get an anytime touchdown.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking about another prop. My bad.
Yeah, they do have him for 0.5 anytime touchdown. And then they
See,
got him
I'd
for
rather,
3.5 passing
Yeah,
touchdown.
that's what I was talking about. The
yeah, I'd rather
3.5.
take him for the 3.5 passing touchdowns because I think he's going to get that. I don't see why not.
Well, they got Shador Sanders for 309.5 passing yards, 2.5 passing touchdowns.
Um, ugh, I don't know, bro. I don't
I
know,
don't
man.
know.
I,
I
I
think I'm
don't I don't
taking the
like that
under on his
offensive line,
yards.
man.
I'm taking the under on his yards for sure.
Yeah, it's tough because they didn't perform well last week. So that's what's tough about it. But I know USC's defense not as good as Oregon's defense, not even close. But I mean, I don't know. Like for me, I would just stay away from the Colorado props personally. Like I wouldn't because this is like, I mean, he could throw for 308. It's possible, but I wouldn't put my money on that though.
I mean,
Is
if
it
anything, I'll probably take the yards with
for
Shador.
Shador over
Yeah. What is it like 220,
309
309?
309.5?
Yeah,
I think I'm taking the under.
Yeah, I'll probably go under on that.
I think I'm taking the under. So the next game we got for today is that Florida Kentucky game. It's gonna be a 12 o'clock slate game too. I think a lot of people, once they see Colorado kind of getting beat up, this might be one of those games they tune out to watch. What y'all think about that Florida defense versus Kentucky's offense? I guess they're pretty good from what I've heard. I haven't watched much Kentucky football, Mick.
yeah.
Me
I mean,
neither,
I think
man.
I caught one of their games when they weren't really playing nobody. I mean, for me, I just like the way that the direction that Florida's headed into. And I just think that I mean, their quarterback has limitations, but their defense has the capability of being dominant for one game or two games. I mean, you've seen that when they played Tennessee. I mean, they completely shut down Tennessee. I mean, like, and they're supposed to be a high-powered offense. So I actually don't agree with Vegas. Like, I would take Florida on the money line. Like, I think Florida wins this game.
When I watch Florida, the couple times I watched them this year, they look like they could be more explosive if the quarterback gets comfortable. You know what I'm saying? There's a few times where I've seen him like it's a guy open and he pat the ball a couple times, like he don't trust his arm and his eyes. And I think if they kind of like start working on that, I think they could be, on the way up. I don't think they'll ever be like what they was, but I think they could be better. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if Kentucky can really compete with them in physicality wise on the defensive side of the ball, but
Yeah.
they have beat them recently.
Yeah, I think they beat them last year, I think. But I mean, Kentucky had they had Will Levis. They had a pretty good team last year. Well, last year and the year before. So, and I mean, Florida was kind of down last year. So, but I do, like I said, like I expect Florida to win this game. I mean, I think the team's going in the right direction. I mean, they're improving week to week. And I'm not calling for any blowout or anything, but I definitely think they should be able to win this game.
Well, me and my compadre up top here, we got a bye week, so we ain't got to worry about our team because the last
I,
2
thank
weeks,
God, bro. Thank
the
God.
last 2 weeks have been very, very too close for comfort. I watched all those games on the edge of my seat, and it shouldn't have. And I shouldn't have. Boston College should have been blowed out, and I think Clemson should have been the same.
I expected the close game with Clemson, but the Boston College one, um, I just don't think that they were ready to play. I don't think that Norvell. Uh, I'm gonna relax. I'm not a Norvell fan.
Me
Uh,
neither.
I, I, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Is there a coach that you would like though?
Um, I had to think about that one. Let me get back to you on that one. But
Because
I mean,
the
I think
last
he's a
three to
good
me,
coach. But
who
he's
Norvell?
like, I feel like he's a coddler. Like, oh, it's okay. It's like, you know, he I don't want to use the phrase crack the whip because he's a white man, but like he need to he I need him to like get in somebody's face, man, bench somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh 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 scream a little bit. Like he just so docile, and I don't think that when at certain moments of the game, I feel like they need that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody holding them accountable, hold their feet to the fire. It's just too much coddling going on, and it don't sit well with me. And I feel like you can see it in the execution sometimes. I feel like the team, a lot of times when they get punched, they don't punch back. And I don't like that.
Yeah, I seen that. We got punched a lot in that Boston College game, and it seemed like we weren't punching back. It seemed like we
Listen,
was
man,
just getting
if Boston College, if they didn't get all them penalties, we probably lose that game.
what it was like. I know it was over. Like it was like 17, wasn't it?
It, it was quite a bit. Like
I think
they
it was
they
like
couldn't get out of their
17
own
penalties.
way.
It's crazy. Well, JMik.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, in college football, man, you just got to win at the end of the day. Yeah, I know the style points don't look good for the rankings, but to me, the real rankings ain't even came out yet. I think the real rankings don't come out till after week 5 or 6, like the college football playoff rankings. I wouldn't really worry about it per se. I mean, yeah, they're close games, but you still won. I mean, like you guys have probably one of the best wins in college football when you guys beat LSU the first week of the season, or say week one. It was either week 1 or week 0. I mean, like whatever week it was. So
Yeah,
I mean,
week one.
to me, that's one of the better wins in the college football season. So I just really wouldn't worry about it at this point. I mean, as long as you guys don't drop games. I mean, I don't know your schedule off the top of my head, but I think y'all played the majority of your hard games already. I don't think that you got. I think you guys got to play Duke or something. But I mean, Duke's a better team, but I think you should be able to handle Duke. So I just wouldn't be worried about it
We
personally
got
if
we
I
got
was you.
Miami and Florida too.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I haven't heard too much of the Miami fans talk over the years, always saying we back, we back, we back. I don't believe it. Like I mean, like they got to show me more on me before
I
I like
agree.
buy into that. So
Yeah, so far Miami has played out of their four, they played three FCS schools and one Power Five conference. So I need to see a little more from them. But we also play Wake Forest this year, and we haven't beat them. I think like 4 years.
Oh, so they North Carolina State for us, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
That game we play North Carolina State, I never bet and I never watch it with my friends because I always be upset because it's always like one of those weird games, almost like a Miami game, bro. It's really almost like a Miami. Like they come in and it's like, oh, y'all gonna beat them. They be like 1-3, 1-5, and they come in and smack us, and I'm like, I don't understand.
that's
I'm not too
well,
worried. I just need Norvell to tighten up. You know what I'm saying? I need him to put some pressure on them boys, especially Travis. Um, they just need to tighten up, man.
All right. So the next game on our slate is Kansas University and Texas. Texas is giving KU 16 points, and they're both undefeated. I'm picking Texas.
Yeah, I
After
love
this,
Texas linebackers, bro. I love they linebackers, boy, man. Them boys be flying around, man. I don't know much of. I did watch that Texas Alabama game, so that's all I know about them this season. But I love their linebackers.
I mean, the one thing for me about Texas is like they got some of the best skill position players, man. Like their wide receivers. I mean, like they got one of their wide receivers came from my school, Georgia. And like they got a lot of skilled position players. And I mean, going into this game with Kansas is explosive offensively with Jalen Daniels. Jalen Daniels is a really good quarterback, and with his arm and his legs. But my issue with Kansas is like their defense is just not good. Like I don't know a better way to say it. The defense is bad. And I just think a team like Texas, like you got to have some semblance of a defense to beat them. And I mean, but the thing about Kansas and Texas, what I do know is I don't think Kansas is I don't not Kansas. I don't think Texas has beat Kansas in the last 2 years. I think it's something like that. So I think it's something for the Texas fans that they're trying to beat Kansas and kind of get over that hump of beating them. But I do see Texas winning the game. I do know the line was at 18 earlier in the week. Now it's at 16. Um, as far as covering the spread, I don't know. Like I do expect them to win by at least 2 touchdowns, but spread 16, so that might be kind of tough.
Yeah, those type of spreads, like when it's like 16, it's like 14-5. Those spread, I'd be like, why did they have to add the 0.5 or the extra 2 points? Like if it was like 13-5, they had to win by 14. I'm comfortable. But now I gotta get you to win by. I need you to win by 2 touchdowns and a field goal for me to get any money.
So where the game at?
It's in Texas.
Yeah, from Texas.
They're probably gonna cover.
You think so?
They're probably gonna cover. I like Texas defense, man. Um, and I don't know much about Kansas, but I did hear Mick say that that defense isn't that good. Texas can score, so I'm gonna just chalk it up to Kansas being able to keep up with them.
What you think, Mitt? Do you take the spread with Texas in Texas?
I mean, so what I did when I parlayed it, I dropped the line at 13.5. That's what I did. I just bought the points down like that. It's kind of what you said, man. Like when you have lines that are like 15, 16, 17, I mean, they're kind of hard to cover. So,
well, I'm gonna go with y'all, and I'm gonna take Texas with the points, man. And, I think KU, they offense, if they win this game, it's gonna have to be one of those crazy Texas Tech air raid offense versus Baylor, where it's like 48-55 type deal. I don't see KU being able to put up enough points against that defense. You know what I'm saying? So the next game we got is LSU Ole Miss. LSU is giving Ole Miss 2.5.
I mean, I like LSU in this game. I'm not a huge fan of Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss can put up a lot of points. But I just don't think their defense is there. I mean, it's hard to go in to their stadium and win with like the cowbells and all that. That's hard to do. And I just think as long as Neighbors has a really good day and then their quarterback has his head on straight, they should be able to win that game. But I mean, like LSU quarterback, like he's kind of like the Florida State quarterback. Like he either comes out, plays well the whole game, or he starts out really slow. And then it's kind of like he's kind of struggling throughout the whole game. So, I mean, for them to win, they're going to need for him to play well.
Yeah, I was basically going to say exactly what JMik said. I think LSU should win this game, but that quarterback situation just scares me, man. Like he too up and down. Like when he on, but when he off, it it's like he affects the whole team, both sides of the ball.
Jaden Daniels, it's no medium with him either. Like just
It's
like
really
y'all said,
not.
when he's off, it's off. Like it's way to the left off. Like you be like, can you get back and at least get me a good drive? And you think he drive it and then he throw a pick. And it's like, or he do the read option and he should have handed it off. And he run and he try to make a play. He lose 7 yards. Like it's like stuff like that he do that really kill me. But Ole Miss is that team for me sometimes that I feel like can upset people. And
I mean, I know LSU ranked, but would you really say
LSU
that?
13 and Ole Miss 20.
Yeah, I really wouldn't call that an upset.
Yeah, they both
Like
the only reason Ole Miss so far down is because they gave it that game to they got a real close game with Tulane, and then they got beat by Alabama last week.
Yeah, but they got beat soundly by Alabama, and they lose by like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, 24-10.
Yeah, I mean it's a sound victory for Bama, but like I said, like Ole Miss, their defense with Lane Kiffin, man, the defense ain't never really been like that. And so that's why I think LSU should be able to win, because I think their offense is good enough for them to put up points. And just like the Tigers defense just has to slow down that Ole Miss offense. If they can do that, then they should win the game.
And
Well, it's
where's that
Brian
game?
Kelly versus Lane Kiffin. It is in Ole Miss. It's in
Yeah.
Mississippi.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a tough place to play.
Man, I'm riding with the New York Giants today, man. You know, in honor of the little box. I'm going Ole Miss, man.
Nah.
I'm gonna take Ole Miss today, man.
I'm gonna push on that one.
You gonna push it?
Yeah, I don't like that game.
It's an iffy game, right?
Yeah, I'd leave that alone.
All right. So the 7:30 game tonight, we have Notre Dame versus Duke. Notre Dame is giving Duke 5.5.
I mean, I like Notre Dame to bounce back. I mean, they should have won that Ohio State game. I mean, they screwed up in the end in multiple ways. I mean, they blew it when they had the ball, and the coach wanted to throw a screen on second down, and the dude almost threw a pick. And then on defense, they could have stopped, Ohio State, and they didn't. I'm not gonna get into that, but I just think if they bounce back, it's a hard game because Duke is really good this year. I mean, Duke has a good quarterback. Their defense is really good. I don't know about them covering was it 5.5? I don't know about all that, but I mean, I do see them winning the game.
Yeah, I like Notre Dame in this one. I just feel like outside of the quarterback situation, they're better all around football team right now.
I'm on like a small little hill, right? Because I seen Duke blow out Clemson week 1. Really got me shaky. Like, is that offense really hitting like that? Is the defense really? Because they held them 20. It was 28-7. Like, is it really them being that good, or was Clemson week 1 just really that bad? It's like I'm like 50-50 because I'm like, do I take Duke with the points? Because I think I like Notre Dame to win, but do I like Duke to keep it close enough that they can keep them from covering the 5.5?
And where's that?
It's in
That's
Duke.
it.
It's at Duke.
That's in Duke. I still like Notre Dame, bro. I think they cover the 5. I think they win. They can win by 10. I think so, but that's
That
just
Ohio State game probably got them hot though.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride with y'all. I'm gonna take Notre Dame. Ain't that who they just played, right, Mick? Ohio State.
Yeah. They played them last week in a primetime game. Yeah, that's kind
And
of
they
that
blew
was
it
a
down
good
the
game.
stretch too.
That was a good game.
Yeah, it was.
What it was like 17-14 or something like that.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
forgot what
was.
it was.
But that
17-10.
right.
It was close. I know they needed the ball one more time to try to tie it up or win it or whatever, right? All right. So do anybody got any options of Alabama, Mississippi State?
I mean,
Alabama is 14.5. They giving Mississippi State 14.5.
Yeah, I mean, Mississippi State's pretty bad this year, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, like LSU played them recently and they put up a lot of points on them. And then I think Bama's starting to get it. They're starting to get it together offensively. Yeah, I mean, like, what's his name? And Milroe is not, he's not your pocket passer like like Bryce Young was, but he can use his legs. And as long as he don't make bad decisions and turn over the ball, I think they should cover the spread. I think they should be fine.
Yeah, I think they cover too. This is about Alabama about to crank it up, because their playoff chances are in jeopardy right now. They still in the hunt because it's Alabama and everybody loves Alabama. You know what I'm saying? So they need those impressive wins right now. And Mississippi State, they're a little slight on the talent side of the ball. Well, on both sides of the ball as far as talent, and it's time for Alabama's statement game. So I think it's a lot of points, but I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah, I think I like Alabama to cover. Christina don't. She said Mississippi covering the spread. I mean, I don't see them covering that spread. Mississippi State, they just like Jaden Daniels, the one who was the quarterback. When they off, they get slaughtered. And if they come in this game even on, they really not that good. So it's like it's an iffy game because Mississippi State do give Alabama a fight sometimes, but that's been a while. What was it? The last time they lost to them was
It was a couple of
Shit,
years
Dak.
ago, I think.
it's been a few years.
Yeah, I think it
It's
was
been
2, 3 years ago.
I was trying to say like 2020. Because I know
Yeah.
before that it was Dak. Before 2020 it was Dak.
I mean, Dak would play well against Bama or something like that, but they wasn't beating Bama though. That's
They was
the
getting
thing.
close though, right? I remember
Yeah,
the
it
last
was.
one like winning like what did he like? They missed the field goal to go into overtime. The last Dak game he played.
Yeah, it's something like that if I remember off the top of my head. But yeah, like I mean, like they beat Bama a couple years ago, but I don't see it in this game. I mean, I think they gave up 41 to LSU, and like Neighbors he murdered them in that game. And I mean, obviously, like the Bama don't have the quarterback that the Tigers have. He's not. I mean, he's not as good as Daniels. But I mean, like I said, he can use his legs, and if he decides to use his legs and he doesn't turn over the ball, like I see them winning by 2 touchdowns. I don't see why they can't.
All right, so we're gonna get into this NFL slate. Does anybody want to go over the Lions Packers game again? I mean, do y'all just want to get into the games coming?
There's one thing I want to say, man. There's
All
one
right,
thing I want to say, man. I
go.
was on Twitter all week, man. People was pumping the Packers tires all week, and I heard people saying it. I'm just like, I didn't see it. Like I saw the lines. I had the lines on the game the whole time. Like I just didn't. I don't like. I think people have just started to like Jordan Love in the situation, and then
Yeah,
they let that blind them. So
yeah. You talking about me? I was on the Jordan Love hype train. I think I put a little too much stock into that win last week. I didn't take into account how Derek Carr going down completely flipped that game. New Orleans defense pretty much was on the field the entire second half. Not making no excuses because, if you touted to be a top five defense, you need to find a way to get a stop somewhere in there. But with that said, I'm still not impressed with Detroit. I didn't see anything from them personally that I would deem as impressive. Um, they punched on Green Bay. I
You're
mean
supposed to.
they did what they was supposed to do. I'll just
that's
chalk
true.
it up to that.
I mean, but I also think with Green Bay, like I didn't like the way they were using Aaron Jones and Christian Watson. I get it; they come off the hamstring stuff. I just didn't like that, and
Bro,
I
he had
don't like
like
the way
two
that the Lions.
targets.
Yeah, trust me, I know because I'm a fantasy team. Trust me, I
Oh,
know.
oh, damn, bro.
But yeah, like yeah, but also I don't like the way that the Lions are using Jahmyr Gibbs either. I ain't like that either. Like they're just not. They don't have him on the field enough. So I mean, the Lions, like I picked them to win that division. I think they're going to win a division. I mean, they're going to make the playoffs. I don't. To me, they're not title contenders in the NFC. To me, I mean, unless they get more of their defense. Like I mean, like Aiden Hutchinson is the dude is a monster, bro. Like it's crazy what he's able to do on the field. But for me, they need more defensively for me to actually believe in them more. So
I kind of seen it coming, but I think piggybacking off what Certified said, I think it's people not really wanting the Green Bay Packers to not have great quarterback play because it's been so long since they've seen trash quarterback play at that position. They're just buying in on what they've seen in a small sample size.
Yeah.
Like they buying in because they don't want to like Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. They like, okay, if Jordan Love come in, he can give us 5 years, 10 years, whatever of good quarterback. That'll be one of probably the greatest accomplishments in NFL history to have 40 years of all pro quarterback play. I don't know too many teams that with no breaks has done it.
Yeah. I mean, he did look good last week. So I don't want to kick his back in too much, but I'm not a fan of LaFleur. I don't think that he's a head coach. Um, uh, Detroit's defensive line was whooping them all game, and I just didn't see the adjustments to help him out. Like it was a few times I'm watching the all 22, and it's like at third and short, and all the routes are going 15 yards down the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're looking at Jordan Love. He's going through his progressions. You know what I'm saying? He's doing what he's supposed to do, but the pocket is collapsing so fast. He don't have no hot route or nothing. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Tina, I totally apologize. I didn't know it was you. I'm sorry. I didn't know your government name. I didn't mean that. And the Commanders ain't gonna beat me by 50. Heck no. But the first game of the Sunday slate, it's overseas. It's the Falcons Jags, and they're giving the Jags. Well, the Jags are giving the Falcons 3 points. JMik, real quick, when you home and you give up 3, does that mean they believe you'll win by a touchdown?
Well, I don't know. Like the line for this is funky, man, because they're not technically home. They're playing in London.
Yeah.
So it's. I mean, so what I had was I had the Jags as 3-point favorites in this game. I personally think they're gonna cover the spread. Personally, because I just think the Jags have been playing so bad the last 2 weeks that they're gonna have to come back with a better performance. And then the Falcons, it's like if you can shut down their run, I don't trust Ritter to actually be able to throw the ball enough to be able to beat teams. And so I just think if the Jags can get a better performance out of T-Law, and I just think they're leaning way too much on Calvin Ridley. And I'm saying this as a Calvin Ridley owner. Like I own him on a couple of my fantasy teams, and I'm saying this like they're throwing him, they're targeting him a little bit too much at times. And then they have other weapons. I mean, like they have, ETN coming out the backfield. They got Kirk, and then they got Zay Jones, and they also got Ingram at the tight end position. So they got a lot of weapons. It's just I just think they need to kind of use those weapons and not key on Ridley so much.
Yeah, I agree. Um, same story, man. I'm not impressed with either team. I'm not. I expected more from Jaguars. I'm not impressed with Trevor Lawrence. He's looking really mid right now. I just with the offense that they had last year, coming back, second year in the system, full training camp off season. Calvin Ridley added into the mix. I just expected a little more from Trevor Lawrence, and I'm not seeing um, I'm not seeing it. To be honest with you, I will if I were to bet on this game, I'll probably go props. I'm looking at Bijan yards, and me personally, I will go Bijan yards. I will look at that and Etienne.
The rushing and receiving combined, I think is like 92. I think I seen this morning it's like 92. For I was talking about for Bijan. His rushing and receiving is like 92. 92. That's decent. I think I took him too, to be honest with you. And ETN, they have him at 68.5 rushing, and they got him at 91.5 rushing and receiving combined.
That he's probably going to get that rushing.
Where's
Bijan, like 70?
72.5.
Oh yeah, I take that. I hit that hard.
I'd probably take Trevor his yards and his passing touchdown. I think passing touchdown are like 1.5. I think his passing yards are like 250, 250 something.
240, like 240.5.
Yeah, so I like I said, I expect him to bounce back and have a better game. So I would take both of those. And then
JMik knows. He see my ticket every Sunday morning. I sent it to him 3 weeks in a row. I've took that Trevor Lawrence 1.5. 3 weeks in a row. And he only covered once.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna come through this week.
I don't trust him, dog. I don't trust Trevor Lawrence, man. I don't.
Hey, JMik.
Yeah.
You want to see something interesting?
And what's up?
I took him again.
Yeah.
I already took him again. I'm like,
so you're a glutton for punishment, is what you're telling us.
I'm hoping. Listen. My hope is he flipped. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere he got to find the rhythm. Unless last year was a flash in the pan, then I don't know. But if it is, then everybody's been mistaken for a long time about him.
So listen, man. I'm gonna believe who you tell me who you are until you show me something different. You know, that's my thing on Trevor Lawrence, man. I need to see more today, like yesterday. I need to see more.
Yeah, I just don't like the Falcons corners, man. I think their corners aren't that great. The safety play been really good with Bates, but like I said, the corner play ain't that good, and that's what I'm going off of.
What's good, Coles? What's good, Coles? You got to see that man at the bottom tomorrow. You got to see that man at tomorrow. And if boy,
I can't wait to get to that one right there, boy. I got
boy. Well, hold on. The one we had to talk about next that could send Twitter into an uproar, fire burning.
already know.
People could be ran off of Twitter after this one. It's Miami versus Buffalo, and Miami is giving Buffalo 2.5. I mean, Buffalo's giving Miami 2.5. My bad.
I mean, for me, being in a division, like whatever way this game goes, I really can't win. I mean, if both these teams could lose, I'd be happy with it. But that's just not the case. I mean, going into the season, I always look at this, like the Bills and the Fins that they was going to split. And I just think that the Bills are playing really well, the Dolphins playing really well. But I just think since it's in Buffalo, I think that Buffalo should be able to pull it out. I mean, I don't know about betting them on the spread. I mean, I'd probably take them on the money line. That's what I would do. If not that, then I would take the props. But I just think that the Buffalo defense is really playing well. They pretty much dominated their last two opponents. They didn't play well against the Jets, but that's kind of customary if you watch them over the last year or so. Because I mean, the Jets, defense, frustrates Josh Allen. They make him very uncomfortable. Um, but I just think with the weapons that the Bills have and the defense they have, obviously they're not the Broncos. Them niggas ain't giving up 70, so
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do expect it to be a close game. I mean, something like 30-27 or 34-31. I mean, something like that.
Hey, quick question, JMik. When props fall, does that mean a lot of people are taking the under?
See, I don't like the props. Like I can speak on the line, like the spreads, but the props, I
Okay.
don't know. Like
Plus,
maybe some
the only reason
information
I
came in.
asked is because Josh Allen started the beginning of the week at like 275, 278, somewhere in there. Now he's at like 268.
I mean, it
So that
could be
means
just a lot
people
of people.
smashing the under.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, could be.
What you think, certified? Yeah, I mean, it's on you. I
Um,
just want to ask a question.
so my heart wants me to take the over for the game, but I smell a little fishy, man, because it's like 54
53.
right now, 53.
53.
I think that's a little low. So I don't know, man. That makes me nervous. I think Buffalo's gonna cover. Jordan Poyer being out does concern me. For the most part, I think that Buffalo's defense should be able to uh, contain them to a certain point. But the only thing about with Miami, dog, is if you have the slightest botch in coverage, they got the speed to expose it. You know what I'm saying? Like any little lapse in coverage could be 7 points. And it's going to happen. Now whether Tua can recognize it and take advantage of it is the thing. Leonard Floyd is playing really well right now. Um, as far as bet, man, I definitely will take what Josh Allen is like two and a half touchdowns right now passing.
Oh yeah, 1.5.
I one of the oh yeah.
He
I'll
need two
take
to
that.
get it.
I'll take if you can get a prop on Stephon Diggs receptions, which probably is going to be about six and a
Six and a
half.
half. Yep.
I'll take that too. Um, it's a lot of props I smash on this.
Yeah,
Yards
they
for
got
Tyreek.
Tyreek Hill for 6.5.
Oh yeah.
And they
I'll
got him
take him
for
and the yards.
hold on. His receiving yards is 87.5.
Nah, no. Last time I saw it was like 78.
Yeah,
Some
they
it
must
was
have been
70
over on
something.
that.
They got Waddle at 59.
Shit, that's a one catch for him.
Yeah, I took him because I told somebody, the person I was on the phone with last night, we going back and forth on parlay. I'm like, he like 50 down. I don't know. I'm like, bro, one slant and somebody missed. That's 59 right there. That's an easy
Yeah,
bet.
I mean, Jalen Waddle should be able to get 61 yards, man, because I mean, most of the coverage. I mean, like teams got to watch out for Tyreek. So I think he should get 61. I don't think that's an issue at all.
and if your app does completions, I would look at Tua on
They
his
have him at
completion.
22.5. So you need 23 completions
I
to
think he
go
should be
Yeah,
able to
over.
that's
do that,
easy
though.
money. I think he get that in his sleep.
Yeah, I think the Bills are going to try to shut down the run because I mean their run game has been pretty good the last 2 weeks, going against Denver and then going against the Patriots. I think
Who did they play week 2?
they played us. They played the
Patriots.
Patriots.
He
I
didn't. That
think
was the
most
only
of what.
game he didn't have 23 completions.
Yeah, but that's because they was running the ball so much. I think most of that like 130 yards or something like that. I think he broke. I think he broke 2 long runs in that game. So
All right. So y'all would take the props. All right. Next game, Minnesota, Carolina.
That's in Carolina,
This
right?
yeah, it is.
yes, and the point spread is where did it just go?
I think it's
Uh,
4. I think the Vikings are favored by 4 points.
yep, four. Yep.
Um, Minnesota should mop these boys, man. Like I just I don't see how they keep up with them. I don't, and Carolina isn't really doing anything well right now.
Is Bryce Young still out? Anybody know?
I think he's questionable for the game. Initially, they said he's going to be out for 1 to 2 weeks. He was out last week. I wouldn't rush him back because I mean Andy Dalton actually played much better than I mean Bryce Young played. I mean for me, what this game comes down to is like the Vikings gonna put up points. Like they're gonna do that every game. That's no one's
Yeah,
gonna dispute that. But the problem is the Panthers can run the ball, and so it's like the Vikings defense ain't that. It's not the greatest. It's not great at all. So what I'm looking at in this game is that the Vikings cannot slow down the Panthers running attack. It's gonna be the game's gonna be harder than it needs to be. Um, I mean, if I was the Vikings, I would try to get up early on Carolina, and I would just try to ride that game out. I mean, for the rest of the way, and just keep putting up points because I don't think Carolina gonna be able to put up more than 25, 30 points in that game, in my opinion. So
Well, I know
25,
the first
30.
he said Carolina gonna put up 25-30 or Vikings 25-30.
no, I'm saying like for Carolina, I don't think they can put up more than 25 points. Like I don't
Oh,
see like I don't think there's any way that they're gonna be able to do that.
I'd be
Um,
shocked if they crack 20.
I mean, they put up 27 last week though. That's the thing. So
But they play Seattle, right?
yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So, but
so the
yeah, I mean, if the Vikings keep their run game in check, they should be fine.
why they keep having Justin Jefferson for this one anytime touchdown?
It's crazy, though. That's
I
easy
took it.
money, man.
I took it. Well, the first like what 2 weeks he didn't score, and I was shook. I was like, why he ain't scoring? But the last 2 weeks he been going off, so
Yeah,
I've been all right with it.
Kurt has been. I don't know why it wasn't the first week, but he's been pressing the ball to Jettas, and he should.
What about Kirk Cousins for 1.5 passing touchdown?
I mean, he averaging like 2 right now?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sound about right. Yeah, 'cause I think he's leading the league in touchdown passes. I think.
Yeah. I mean, Kurt on pace. I mean, he doing 300 plus. He averaging 300 plus right now, as far as
Oh,
yards.
Bryce Young will be the starter.
Oh, he will.
They got him
Yeah.
on here as the prop. So and they don't have Andy Dalton like they had last week. So I'm assuming
Mm,
so.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I still like the Vikings though. I mean, they should
yeah,
cover that
I like
4.
them to cover.
No, I didn't listen. Honest, JMik, the reason I asked was exactly what you said. I thought if Andy Dalton played, they had a better chance of winning the game than Bryce. It seemed like they opened the offense up a little bit more last week. They was letting
Yeah.
Andy Dalton really sling the rock, and they really they getting Bryce killed. Like instead of letting him like really just get the check downs, get the smart routes, get the drags, they got him kind of like trying to stretch it downfield, and they know the offensive line isn't that great.
Yeah.
Like, and
I,
so he's
I,
sitting back there, he trying to find it, and then he not realizing like it's the NFL, bro. It's coming a little faster than it was when you was at Alabama and you was able to do what you want to do a lot of the times. No, they coming a little faster. You got to get rid of the rock. The offensive coordinator, which is an ex-Eagle player, we ain't gonna say his name, but he need to get the ball out a little faster. You know, like
listen, man. I just feel like the way things are playing out is how I felt they would. I know it's early, it's just 2 games into his career, so it's not an indictment on his entire career. But I don't know what folks were talking about at Alabama. I didn't see nothing special, man. At all. I didn't. He just looked like the beneficiary to like the Alabama brand. I'm not going I'm not going pissing his tea, but I'm just saying the moments were too far in between for me with Bryce Young, and looking at his size and everything, moving up to a better league, not having that offensive line in front of him. Um, I don't know, man, but it's still early. I just, uh,
I'm about the same. I do like Minnesota to win this game though. The
yeah, I
next
think they're
game
gonna
is
cover.
Denver, Chicago. Denver favored by 3.5. This is this is
Bro,
gonna be like you ever watch the little kid? He tell you how he finna fight dude in the sandbox, and he like 5 or 6, and they run up and they just like there ain't
yeah,
nobody
pretty
hitting each
much
other.
though.
That's what this game gonna be.
I say this, man. As an athlete, Denver, if y'all don't come out and y'all gotta come out and do something, bro. Y'all gotta come out and do something. Like y'all gotta punch on Chicago tomorrow. Like y'all have to. Letting somebody put 70 on your head. And if you watch that fourth quarter, Miami really wasn't even trying to score, man. But if a dude is open 40 yards downfield, I mean, you got to throw the ball. But Denver, man, they as a professional athlete, bro, like, come on, man, y'all got to come out and punch on Chicago. Chicago might be one of the worst teams I've ever seen in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna belabor the point. I got Denver winning the game. And just for the simple fact that the niggas they gave up 70 points in a game. Like normally you get beat like that, you come back the next week better. You're more focused in the meetings and all that, and the practices and all that. So I expect them to win it. I don't like. I never in the summertime. I never saw what people loved in Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields has a talent, but you can have all the talent in the world if you don't turn that talent into production. I mean, the shit don't matter. And like I said, like the Bears whole the whole thing with their DC and him being investigated for whatever thing that he did. I'm not gonna speak on. I don't know what he did, but did something where he had to resign. I just don't like the look. I mean, Russell hasn't played terrible. I mean, he hasn't played as bad as he did last year. He's played good enough, from last year to this year. Um, so yeah, I mean, like, give me Denver in the game. I don't even care the games in Chicago. Like, I think they should cover it because I just don't like what the Bears got going on.
See, but JMik, this is my thing. I'm glad you brought up the spread because to be honest with you, I'm taking the money line. Like losing by 50, that I smell problems in that locker room. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
So I hear what you're saying. Conventional wisdom would say that Denver's gonna come out and they gonna show some type of pride. But what if they don't? You know what I'm saying?
Lose
What
to
if they don't?
Chicago. Ooh.
No, I mean what I'm saying is if they don't beat Chicago by 10 points, I think that's a disappointment They are a better team than Chicago. They have more talent than Chicago. They have better coaching than Chicago. This should not be a contest. So if it is a contest, I think that says something about Denver, even in a win. That's just me.
In my personal opinion, right? The game is so like shaky for me because it's two teams that really ain't been doing nothing. I don't even want to touch no prop. I didn't touch any of the props.
Oh no,
I would,
no.
I would literally not want. Like they got like Russell Wilson for like 2 passing touchdowns. He need is 1.5. He need 241.5 passing yards. Like I took Justin Fields right 1 week for the half a passing touchdown, right? And the man scared
Why
me
would you do
so
that?
bad. I never went back.
Why would you do that?
Bro, I thought it was a good one because I'm like, I forgot who they played week 1. You remember who they played week 1? Anybody?
And I think they put the Packers.
They
Yeah, it
played
was the
Green. They
Packers.
played the Packers.
Yeah.
I was like DJ Moore, quick slant. You know, he might can go to the house, and then they can maybe dink and dunk, and then I was like, that was the dumbest bet I made all year. I never bet it again. He's
I
only
mean,
got
not
like one in
he
each
got like
game.
2. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, for me, I'd be scared because if they get down to the goal line, I'd be scared he's gonna run it in. That's what I'd be scared of, you taking passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
I ain't touched it again, and thank the Lord, I ain't gonna never touch it again. But we're gonna go to the next game. It's Baltimore, Cleveland. Cleveland favored by 2.
That's in Baltimore, right?
Nah, it's in
No, it's in
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
It's in Cleveland. Hmm. I don't know, man. Um, Baltimore. I don't know the last time Cleveland beat Baltimore. They probably beat them recently, but I don't remember it.
No, they
Uh,
haven't beat them in Baltimore in a long time, but it's the
okay.
same way for Baltimore haven't beaten Cleveland in like 2 years, I think they were saying. Like, so this would be like the third time. They haven't beat Cleveland in Cleveland since 2020, and Baltimore hasn't been beat by Cleveland in Baltimore since 2019, I think.
So let me see, man. Linderbaum. I think it's going to be a game time decision. I don't think he's going to play, to be honest with you. So that's him and the tackle out. Um, Baltimore banged up right now, but I don't like Deshaun at all, man. Like
I don't think Vegas do either, certified.
yeah, like
They
him
didn't
and
even give
Trevor
him
in the
any
same boat.
props on Sleeper. He doesn't have a prop.
Yeah, yeah, him and Trevor in the same boat right now. I'm unimpressed, and Cleveland has been able to run the ball since Chubb went down. But you got a bad man on the other side, man. Roquan, like he's him. Roquan is him. So it's like I don't know, man. I don't know. My heart is saying Cleveland, but this I got a feeling this is one of those Lamar games.
They got him for the anytime touchdown.
I mean,
I
for
took that.
me, like, I always feel like the Ravens should win the game, but the way the offense had been playing, like, and I kind of knew it was going to be like this because, like, all the Ravens fans was like, oh, well, we got a new offense. We're going to start humming week 1. I just didn't feel that way. I feel like it's going to take some time for
More
them
the
to
same.
get the offense and to get it moving. They haven't reached that point. And I just think with the way the Browns playing defense, bro, like if your offense ain't humming, you got to go into Cleveland and play that defense. I think their defense going to dominate them personally because I think OBJ is still out,
Yeah, he
Hmm.
out.
They lost another receiver too. Yeah, Bateman.
Bateman out. So
Bateman, yeah, he out.
I don't like the match. I mean, the only chance I give the Ravens is the fact that Deshaun has a bad game, which he hasn't really been playing that well. But for me, like I actually like Cleveland minus the 2. Like I think they're gonna win the game.
All right.
But I
So
would not take any Deshaun Watson props. Like I'm
Yeah,
they don't
not.
have any on. They don't have any on sleeper at all. They don't have one
Yeah,
form on sleeper.
yeah.
like
Um,
everything about this game uh bothers me. I don't like this game at all. Any of it, props or straight up. I I don't like anything.
I don't like the point spread, but I would take Baltimore money line. I'll take Baltimore money line.
Interesting.
Well, I might hold on. Yeah, I'll take the points. I'll take the 2 points. That's even better for me. I'll take Baltimore with the two for sure. I'll take Baltimore. I thought they was giving up
I,
two. Uh,
I just don't. For me, with Baltimore, man, it is what do they do well? What are they doing well right now? That's my question.
Nothing.
So
I mean,
that's why
it's
I can't until I see some type of you know what I can't think of one outside of Roquan. I can't think of one thing that I know for a fact Baltimore's going to do week in and week out right now, and that bothers me because in previous years I knew they was going to run the ball and they was going to stop the run.
yeah. I mean, their identity is changing. So, like I said, like that's why I like Cleveland in the game, man, because they just haven't. They didn't play well against the Texans. They didn't play well against the Colts.
They
I
got
mean,
dominated by the Texans, bro. Even though they won.
yeah, and I mean, they were lucky that it was the Texans week one. If they would have played the Texans in week three, they probably wouldn't have beat them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just think it's gonna take some more time, and I just think Cleveland is playing better right now. So that's why I like Cleveland.
All right. So the next game we got is Pittsburgh versus Houston. Pittsburgh favored by 2.5.
I ain't touching it.
Oh, I'm definitely not touching that game. But I mean, I don't see any props either that make me like. Because is CJ Stroud really gonna keep on this pace he on right now?
I mean, he
Until he
played well
showed me
though.
otherwise.
But they offensive line, is it good? Is it good, JMik? I haven't really watched enough to know exactly how good they are.
I mean, they got a lot of injuries on the old line. Like throughout the seasons thus far, they haven't had to start no line yet. Like I think both their tackles was on short term IR. That they coming back next week. And Guard's been out a couple games, so it's. I mean, for me, the only prop that I like is I like the Tank Dell prop. His yards prop. I think it's like 50, and I would take that to the 50 or
Yeah,
40.
well, it dropped.
It,
It dropped now. It's at 44.5.
yeah, I'd take that. I think he's going to get 50 yards receiving because I don't like the Steelers corners. The Steelers got the best safety, and arguably some people argue with you who like Mika Fitzpatrick is arguably the best safety in the league. Some people like a couple other guys, but I've never liked the Steelers corners. So yeah, I mean I think he should get 50 yards easy.
Did you take TJ Watt for the 1 sack?
Yeah.
He should get one sack because I think they're doing something for his brother actually in Houston. So it's like like they're bringing him back. I think they're putting him in the ring of honor or whatever. So he's got motivation to get that sack.
He going up against Tunsil, right?
Laramie Thompson is out right now, right?
Is
Yeah.
he?
He's out. Yeah, he
Oh
is.
boy. Yeah. Yeah. I smashed that TJ Watt 1 sack. I'm surprised it's not higher. I need Houston to get that run game going. I need Damian Pierce to be a little more active in the game planning. Um, I love what I'm seeing from CJ Stroud, man. It's kind of unfolding the way that I thought it would. But even with that said, I don't want to overwhelm him, man, because Pittsburgh front seven, man, once them boys get going, it could be a long day.
Cause they got Highsmith too for the 1 sack.
The
He did linebacker, right?
Yeah, I was he played the other outside.
Yeah.
But
They can
they
get
they got a I forgot his name. They got somebody playing beside him on the inside, and he pretty nice. I can't think his name right now, but he flashed a little bit against us week one. Um, for the most part, man, I've heard a few people talk about Pittsburgh's run defense. For the most part, uh, we when the Niners played them, we kind of chipped away at it. It was a lot of 2 yards, 4 yards, 2 yards, 3 yards, 2 yards, 4 yards. and then he'll hit him with a 13, then he hit him with the 40. But for the most part, I've heard a few people talk about their run defense. I think they're pretty solid, but I don't know, man. I don't like either team offensively, to be honest with you. Especially if I've seen more consistency from Houston as far as getting Damian Pierce, you know, uh, a part of the game plan, I would probably feel a little more comfortable. But I gotta be consistent, man. Until I see it, I can't mess with it.
All right, the most interesting of the day is the Rams Colts money line is the money line. There is no points. It's even.
Yeah. What's the over? Over under.
I didn't see it. Hold on. You got it over there, JMik?
No, I don't. Hold on. I
I've
don't
never
see
seen
it.
the money. That's the first time I've seen that all season is even.
I,
It's that's
It's
about
a
right, man.
it's a rare line though. They usually give you like that one or some craziness.
I mean, I'm shocked that this one is even. I've seen it before, but I'm shocked this game is even.
yeah, it is even because I mean AR coming back, he's gonna play. He was out last week with a concussion, so I mean I don't know. Like the Rams got a lot of young talent, but I just think the Colts defense is really good. I don't. I actually like the Colts money line in this game personally. I mean, 'cause I just think that I mean AR like he brings like another element to that offense that wasn't there last week, even though they played really well last week against the Ravens. So I mean that's who I like, and I mean if he does play like AR, like I like him for the anytime touchdown.
That's a weird one. That game right there is so close because you got a team in the Rams that everybody think is dead, but you also got a team with the Colts. When AR's on that field, they clicking on all cylinders, man. They look just as good as CJ Stroud in the Texas.
Yeah,
Um,
And the over under for that game is 45 and a half.
yeah, I'll take the over on that. I do know that um Rams starting left tackle is out again.
we out again.
Yeah, but I think Stafford had an off game last week against Cincinnati. I keep forgetting that boy name. What's Cincinnati defensive end? Uh, Trey Henderson, is that
Yeah,
his
that's
name?
what that's right. Yeah, that's
Hendershot, or
right.
whatever it is. Is that
He
Josh
it?
he
Henderson.
was he was
Is
whooping
Henderson?
them boys, man. he he was whooping them boys last week. But I trust Sean McVay. I just feel like Sean McVay and um Matthew Stafford, they had an off week, and I think they're gonna come out clicking. I think that they're gonna get Tutu Atwell involved in the game a little earlier than they did last week. Higby, I just feel like the Rams are going to bounce back a little bit, and I think it's going to be a high scoring game.
Okay, so the next game is Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and New Orleans is favored by 3.5.
That's in the Superdome, right?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. I, I don't know about this one either, man. I don't trust New Orleans New Orleans' ability to protect Derek Carr. I think he might be coming back a little too early. Uh,
He's playing, right?
he practiced. He was full practice yesterday.
They ain't got him on here either. It says game time decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
think they're car playing though.
you don't think so?
Nah, I don't think so.
Um, Either
I,
way, I, Jameis, I know he came in. He didn't get no first team reps. Uh, I, I I think Tampa Bay defense is going to want to bounce back too. I don't like it. I don't like nothing about this game.
Well, all
yeah,
betters out there, stay away from Mike Evans.
Yeah, I mean, you better start if you're gonna take someone's props on Tampa Bay. You better start taking Goodwin's props.
They got him at
Yeah,
54.5 yards, 5.5 receptions, and 1 receiving touchdown.
yeah. I mean,
Mike
for
gonna
this
have a
game, like
better game.
Hmm.
Mike gonna have a better game. He
I'm
not
just
gonna
talking.
lay
I'm just
two
going off.
eggs.
I'm just going. No, I'm going off history. Him against the Saints, he lose his mind for some reason when him and Lattimore line up.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
the last time he had a good game was like 3 or 4 years ago against the Saints. Man, it's been a while.
yeah. I mean, it's been a while. I mean, I just based on history, I just wouldn't touch it. Like, I'm not even really. I'm not betting on this game on the spread or money line or none because I just don't know. Like, I think Tampa Bay could win the game, but Baker could always turn over the ball and cost you a game. So my advice would just be stick to the, I mean, the player props. I
I
yeah,
mean,
think if
bro.
you're
What?
gonna mess with any side of the ball, I think it would be probably Alvin Kamara on the Saints because if Derek Carr is playing, they're not gonna want him to drop back as much, right? They're probably gonna give
yeah,
Alvin Kamara a handful of carries, right?
yeah. But the thing is, with the Saints, what I've heard is that Jameis don't like throwing the ball to Kamara. So that kind of kills. Like, if you're gonna bet on his receiving yards and receptions, I would kind of shy away from that. You might want to just go on his yards because it's just him and Kendrick Miller. They're only healthy running backs at this point, and like the other, I think his name Todd Jones is their third running back. So I don't know. I just be wary about that because I've definitely heard that from Saint fans.
All right. Well, my game is next. You know, Washington, Philly. Washington is down 9. We giving up. We giving up 9. We giving up
Y'all at
9 to
home, right?
Washington. It's at the crib. This game could be interesting, right? Because last year it was 2 totally different games when we played them. The first game, it looked like we were pretty much dominantly the better team. The second game, it looked like everything went their way. The only reason I feel like this game is gonna get out of control is because of how people feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I know the locker room feels some type of way. It got to be some nasty taste in your mouth after how they did us. You know, coming out of this game, Quez Watkins fumbles on the deep pass the last time. The face mask. You remember, got her shoulder got hurt when your boy Taylor Heineke did that Fugazi kneel, Brandon Graham running to him, game over. Like that's a nasty taste in your mouth. But I think we are dominantly the better team. You know what I'm saying? After watching what the Bills did to them, and they said the Bills was going to do this, the Bills wasn't going to do that. You know, I really looked at their team and said, I don't think they are where they think they are. Honest
Uh,
opinion, they think they're like a playoff division winner, and I think they're like we're figuring it out. And Ron Rivera to me isn't the answer. But that's
yeah,
another
man.
day, another story.
I just feel like for me, I was thinking that EB would be able to scheme up a way to hide. Um, man, I'm having brain fog today.
Sam
But
Howell.
Sam Howell, from that offensive line, I didn't see that last week. You know that offensive line is pretty bad, and they have to get Brian Robinson going in order to help out Sam Howell, and I just don't see that happening. I don't. I think Swift is probably going to go crazy on them. The way I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game.
Certified. Did
Um,
you see his prop before it went up now? But did you see his prop at the beginning of the week? They had it at 53.5.
Russian,
It's at six. It's at
that's it.
64.5 now. But at the beginning of the week on Tuesday,
That's
they had
low.
it at 53.5. They raised it to 64.5.
I think y'all cover. Um, I don't think either team cracks 20, but I just look at I think Philly gonna wear 'em down. That uh, Commanders defense gonna be on the field all day, all day. It's gonna be barbecue chicken, man.
It's on
Yeah, I
you,
like the
Mitt.
Eagles in the game. Yeah, I like the Eagles in the game. I mean, yeah, like you guys had one close game with them last year, but then you blew them out. I think the second game was close. The first game was a blowout. And I just think if you guys can just mitigate on defense the middle of the field, then I mean, you should cover the 9 points. And I just don't think that their offensive line can block Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. I mean, if you can't block them two guys, it's going to be a long day, and I expect it to be a long day. So I mean, if like if I was going to bet on this game, I would definitely take the Eagles minus the 9. I would definitely take Smitty for 75 plus yards. And I would even probably take Swift for either 50 plus or 75 plus yards too. I just think your offense is going to be able to move the ball up and down the field. And I just think defensively, like their O line is not capable. After I seen the Bills, what happened in the Bills game. The Bills got what 6-7 sacks in that game or some craziness like that. So yeah, I just don't see it.
Listen, now we all right here are educated football people, right? And I tell these dudes last night, they say, "Oh, we're gonna run the ball." I said, "That's not your best option." That's what the Washington Commanders told me. They said, "We're gonna run the ball. We're gonna run the ball." I said, "That's not the best option of beating me. Your best option is getting McLaurin, getting your receivers in the middle of the field, and letting them make a play." No, we don't need them. I said, "Okay."
See, now I feel like Washington might have had a chance if they had a better tight end option. Um, but I don't like it, man. I Ron might be out of there soon.
I thought it was the whole plan for them in the first place. Hire him. Let's see what Ron can do for a couple weeks. If he make it through the season, he make it. If he don't, we fire him. We promote EB. That's what I thought it was from the jump. But the last game for the 1:00 game, Cincinnati, Tennessee. Cincinnati favored by 2.5. Another
I'm
shaky
shocked.
game, huh? Certified.
I'm shocked. It's that low because
But you
Tennessee
said
is
it.
awful.
You said it. But you said at the beginning of the show about what you felt about Cincinnati and Joe Burrow, comparing him to Trevor Lawrence. Neither one of them have showed you enough to really be up.
Yeah, but Tennessee is pretty bad, man. They're pretty bad, yo. And I chalked it up. Everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Jacksonville gonna run away with the division." Woo 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 woo. And I was like, "Come on, man." Uh, Tennessee, they got a good team. They had the most players on injured reserve. Uh, Most of that was on defense. Those dudes are coming back. They've upgraded at the linebacker position. They brought in D Hop. So Burks, he going he gonna get some loose coverage. Tannehill is awful, man. Tannehill has fallen off a cliff.
Y'all
Like
hold
like
on.
he
Hold on.
like he is definitely bottom five right now. Quarterback play. Like Tannehill is awful. Tennessee period is awful, man. Like I'm shocked. It's just 2.5.
I mean, I'm not shocked. I think the Bengals in that Rams game towards the end of the game, I think Joe Burrow started getting more confidence in his calf and his leg, and like he started driving the ball more down the field. And if I'm not mistaken, Traylon Burks is out this week, so I think he was out as of Friday. So it's just pretty much D Hop and King Henry. I just see the Bengals winning the game. I like them minus the 2.5. I just think that they're defensively, like they're gonna shut down Tennessee. Like I just
Yeah,
don't like you said. Tennessee's bad. And I mean King Henry hasn't really done anything this year.
yeah. He can't,
Um,
bro.
I mean the
Defense is
line is
in the
bad.
backfield.
Yeah, I mean like the line is pretty bad. Um, yeah. I personally expect them to win by a touchdown. I mean, like Tennessee's defense, it's hard to run on them, but their secondary is not the greatest either. So
Right.
I mean, they got one good corner and they have a safe. That's probably a top 5 safety in the league. So, but other than that, I mean, the front's good, but the secondary is not. So I don't. I mean, I think the Bengals can win by 7 at least, in my opinion.
I agree. I would take the Bengals. I'm not sure what the over under is, but I'll probably smash the under because if Tennessee scores a touchdown, I'd be shocked.
It's a good point.
Also, I think I would definitely go what's my man, Jamar Chase, receptions and yards. And depending on if it's not more than 270, I'll do uh Joe Burrows on yards.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up what the over under is for that game. Give me a second. Uh, the over under is 41. I don't know, man, because I mean, my thing is like with the over unders is like I know the Bengals gonna score points. I just don't know how many points that the Titans gonna score. So if you feel compelled to take an over under, like you might want to take the Bengals team, they're like the team total over if that's what you want to do. But like, I mean, because if the Bengals score 28, I don't see how the Titans could even score 14 to 20 points. I just don't see it.
Uh, I don't like. There's nothing that Tennessee does offensively that I like. Anything. I don't like that run blocking. I don't like that pass blocking. I don't like that quarterback play. Uh, Derrick Henry can't get going. Like them linebackers in the backfield, man. Like he can't even square his shoulders up with the field. So I can't think of one thing that I've seen Tennessee do that makes me. They don't even look like an NFL offense right now, man. Like they look that bad,
Yeah, I mean they've been pretty bad. I mean, I think his best game was against the Saints. That's the only game they won. I mean, he played well in that game, but the other two games, I
and they
mean, he
squeaked
played
that
bad.
one out.
Yeah,
So who did
they
y'all pick?
squeaked it out. I mean,
Bengals.
I got the
I
Bengals.
think we
Yeah,
both picked Bengals. Yeah.
All
yeah.
right, I'm taking the same team. The next game is Raiders Chargers. Chargers favored by 4.5.
Chargers should smoke these boys, man. Like like this shouldn't even be a contest, but it's the Chargers, so I wouldn't. I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Chargers should win. I mean, like the Raiders, I don't even know if Jimmy G going to play because in the end,
He ain't gonna play, bro.
concussion protocol. So, and I mean, I know Justin Daniels pretty well. Like people are hoping that they play Aiden McConnell. Then like, he's not going to do that. He's going to play Brian Hoyer. I mean, he was my OC for a while, and he likes Brian Hoyer. So Brian Hoyer probably going to play, and Brian Hoyer stinks. So therefore, I'm with the Chargers in the spread.
Uh, I like that 4.5. Crazy. I like the Chargers. I'm gonna take the Chargers. The Raiders just look bad. It don't look. It don't look like it looked any better than it did before. And it looks even worse with Jimmy G. Like I hear people try to argue with Certified about what Jimmy G really is, and he'd
It's
be like, "Bro,
crazy
he's
though.
not what y'all think he is." And they're like, "No, no, no. He got a 75 win percentage."
Yeah,
But
but that's because he's been on good
90% of
teams.
that 75 is because the defense saved his behind because he don't really win games. He really just keep you from losing. He's Alex Smith all over again.
He's worse than Alex Smith because he turns the ball over.
I seen that in
And
the first game.
like my thing with Jimmy is it's cool. Everybody got limitations. Brock Purdy got limitations. Everybody has limitations. You can't turn the ball over, dog, and he turns the ball over at a extremely high rate. For a quarterback to be as limited as he is, but it's the Raiders are awful, man. I don't know where Josh Jacobs is. Is he even suiting up? You know, Devontae Adams at this rate, God forbid, if he finishes the season, man, I'll be shocked, yo. He's been getting blasted, yo. Uh, Jimmy has been throwing him some s- some certified hospital balls. Like I've seen him get mopped at least once every game, and it can't keep going this way. The only bright spot that I see on the Raiders is Max Crosby. That's about it. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders are destined for a top 10, if not a top five pick. I just the way I see it. I mean, they played well the first week when they played the Broncos, but looking at the Broncos now, that win don't look as impressive as it did week one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers, they're carrying that offense. but I don't know how far you can carry it when you have, Jimmy G, he's your quarterback. So at some point, it's just it's gonna go to shit. So
All right, so
Yeah. And the last thing, man, the the, the Chargers. If any, I think a prop on the Chargers that I would take would probably be um, Eckler anytime touchdown. I'm not sure with Justin Herbert's yards are, and I would look at Palmer, the tight end, with Mike Williams going down. I think his production might go up.
uh,
Him and Herbert connected pretty good last year.
yeah, I think Herbert's yards are 281.5. I take the over. I think he's gonna throw for 300. I don't think it's gonna be an issue for him to do that.
Yeah. What's
but
the reception on Palmer?
You said receptions. Well, Palmer's yards are at 45 and a half, and then receptions, three and a
what's
half.
hey, look,
Oh,
what's funny when I'm sitting here talking to y'all, right? And I'm looking at my 3 tickets from last night. Almost every one of the ones y'all have called out to play as a pick, I have it.
yeah. What you put down?
I got Justin Herbert last night it was at what 280.5. I took him for
Okay.
280.5. I also had took the Josh Allen. I had took the Justin Jefferson. I took what other one we talked about? Hold on, it was another one. You told me not to take the receiving yards, JMik, on Alvin Kamara, and I only took the rushing yards for Kamara for the 53 yards instead of because last night I wanted to take the rushing and receiving. I was like, nah, I'm gonna just stick to the rushing because I feel like he's gonna run the ball more than he's gonna pass it to him. Not even knowing what you told me. I took the
Okay.
53.5. I'm like, when you
Yeah,
said it, I'm like, I looked at
that
my ticket,
sounds
I'm
good.
like, mm. All
Yeah,
right,
because I
but
mean, like literally every Saints fan has told me that, like, like that
what
Jameis don't
about
like throwing him the ball, bro. Like for
what
some
about
reason.
Keenan Allen for the anytime touchdown?
Man, he's been on fire.
I mean, he should be able to do that. I don't see why he wouldn't. 'Cause he's been really good this year.
Yeah. I mean, he gonna get his targets. So the probability of that is high.
And they have you said Palmer, they have him for 43 yards too.
Yeah, I like Palmer being getting the second most targets.
The guy I
More.
can't get my hands on right now is the Quentin Johnston. Like, I don't know where to bet at with him because it seemed like he hasn't really been like implemented into the offense yet.
Yeah, he hasn't played that much, but I think since Mike Williams went down, I think he's gonna have to play more. So I don't know about touching his props this week. I think you kind of got to see how
They got him for two and a
how he
half
does.
receptions. I was gonna take him for the 3 receptions. JMik, do you think that's good?
Hmm.
I I don't know. I would stay away from his props because he
I
hasn't
mean, because
shown
you
you
gotta
anything
think
yet.
about it. You gotta think about it though. Eckler, his receptions have to go up with Mike Williams going down.
Right. All right. Well, on to the game you want to talk about, certified.
Not
Dallas,
really though. Oh,
New England.
mm, I
Dallas is
gotta.
giving 6.5, right, Mick?
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, 6.5. Yeah.
I
Well,
think that's crazy. Go ahead,
well,
Mick. You
yeah,
got it.
yeah, they're favored by 6.5. So
I think that's too many points. I don't think Dallas is that much better than New England. I don't, especially if you look at their what New England can do on offense versus that Dallas offensive line. I mean, what New England can do on defense versus that offensive line. I think that's a lot of points, personally.
yeah, because I heard that Tyron Matt. I mean, what was his name? Tyrod Matthews or
Smith,
Thomas Whatever Smith. Yeah,
Tyron
Smith.
Smith,
My
yeah.
bad. I mean, he's already been ruled out. I'm not sure if the center who pulled a hamstring, I think the same practice that I mean, old boy towards ACL, he might not play. They got a lot of injuries on the old line,
And
and
Zach
the
Martin is
Patriots
still
D line.
questionable, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. And like the Patriots, the strength of the team is the D line. That's the strength. So I mean, for me, like I know my D line gonna show up and perform. I'm not really worried about that. My concern is us blocking. I mean, Micah Parsons. I mean, if we could block Micah Parsons and not make him, like obviously, I mean, he's gonna get a sack or two. I mean, but as long as he doesn't get like multiple pressures and sacks and all that stuff, I mean, our offense is okay. I mean, our offense is good, unless we get penalties. I mean, obviously, we don't have explosive players, so I mean, so everybody knows that. Um, so I mean, this game gonna be on the back of the defense. I mean, I'm obviously like I said, I'm in Dallas. I'm going to the game, so I'm hoping that we pull it out. But I would definitely take the Patriots plus, I mean, like plus 6.5.
I'm taking New England plus 6.5 too. Like,
Yeah, I like that.
Dallas didn't show me anything last week that made me say they just go in here and just put up a 7-point deficit on New England. New England played us well, bro. And I think honestly, I think we're better than them on offense. At least, Dallas on offense, and they have some ways of taking away CD Lamb. And Brandon Cooks hasn't showed me that he has that explosiveness to really take over that Dallas offense. Tony Pollard ain't showed it. So I think this game could really be one of those slow, grinded out, whoever make the least mistakes win. And I think Mac Jones can game manage enough not to make mistakes. Because there was a lot of times in that Eagles game against where I thought he would make a mistake, and he was like, nah, check down, nah, right in the middle. He was placing the ball in places where it wasn't in harm's way. Dak Prescott will put the ball in harm's way.
That's one thing he will do. So for me, man, I just feel like New England should be able to impose their will on that Dallas offense. They're just not clicking right now. CD Lamb came out the gate slow. He's doing a lot. He's doing way more complaining to the refs than performing on the field. Brandon Cooks hasn't showed up. Yeah, like he doing too much talking, man. He need to play ball. And I don't think this is the game where he bounces back. They not running the ball well. I feel like on offense, at some point in time, New England gonna have to figure out how to get that ball out faster for Mac Jones. And looking at how Dallas has the tendency to over pursue, I feel like they can take advantage of that. I like New England in the points. I'm not saying they're gonna win.
That's what I'm saying. I like them in the points, for sure.
I think 6.5 is a lot of points, though, especially the way that Dallas is playing right now. Hey, Mick, what's that boy y'all got opposite of Judon? Start with an O.
You talking about Josh Uche?
Yeah. I think they're gonna get after that tomorrow.
Yeah. Because I mean, Josh Uche's in a contract year too. I mean, he played for, I think he had 7-8 sacks last year. So this year's his contract year. So he's been playing really well. I mean, like if you believe in the PFF stuff, like he's graded. He's graded like one of the highest, rush ends in the league. I mean, I don't really buy into PFF that much, but if you do, then and you can take that for what it's worth.
Yeah, I'm not hearing a lot of PFF talk this season.
Because look, why certified? They was looking at that PFF, and then they was looking at team results and was like, oh, PFF just telling me anything because my team's still trash.
I just need somebody to explain to me how do they come to the conclusions that they come to. Like, what metrics are y'all using?
Because they're combining stats, and then they're giving projection to certified. I read like a little article where they was like explaining it. So they're taking multiple stats, combining them, averaging them out, and then they're putting projected stats also like inside of it or something like that. That's how I read it. So they're not just giving you actual stats; they're giving you projected plus actual, right?
Yeah.
JMik, am I right about that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I use PFF for like stat collection. Like I like their stat collection, but as far as them trying to tell me who's the fifth best guard or the fifth best tight end, like I don't, I don't really roll with them like that.
But I heard that was somebody tried to tell me last year. Oh, PFF's the best way to judge a lineman. I'm like,
no, it's not. No, it's not.
I was like, so why that lineman that's 3? I just watched him get blowed up 3 weeks in a row, but he's the highest graded guard in the league. Like, come on, how do you tell me he's the third best guard?
because at the end of the day, though, like they don't know what on each play, like what the assignments are. There's no way for them to know that.
Right, exactly.
So I mean, the grading is almost impossible to me.
Well, the game that could possibly get ugly. It could be nasty. Could ruin my whole last game of the night. Arizona, San Fran. Listen, certified. I need this game to be close till at least the second quarter.
Last I checked, it was 13.5. I don't like it.
14 now. It's at 14.
14. I don't like it. I'll take the under on that. But our Debo and our Juan Jennings probably won't be playing. Now, with that said, we still got Brandon and George and Christian and whatnot. That's a lot of points, man. That's a lot of points for a game manager. That's a lot of points. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And Brandon coming back from that shoulder stinger. I do. I don't know what the props are on George, but the game that we played last year, George and Purdy, they connected real well. Christian McCaffrey has had an anytime touchdown every week since he joined us, even in the KC game. So I would definitely smash the Christian McCaffrey anytime. I don't know what the yards are. As long as it's not over 80 for Christian, I will probably take that. And
they got him at 83.5 rushing. They got him at 116. Listen, I've been hitting on his rushing and receiving combined though. I haven't touched just straight rushing, but I have.
Yeah, he's averaging like 113 a game.
Yeah,
I haven't.
See, but this week they played because I caught it at the beginning of the week. I played my ticket for him early. But now it done jumped up to 116.5. I think I got him at like 113.5.
Oh, he gonna have a heavy day tomorrow for sure. Now.
Yeah, I got him at 113.5.
Yeah, like he gonna get the touches. Arizona, they playing. They are playing how I want Denver to play. Like, show me some pride, dog. Like, you got your name on the back of your jersey, dog. Like, come on, man. Like, come to work, do your job, So I think we're gonna win for sure. But
you don't like the 14. You like them to be in the game a little bit.
I don't like the 14. I don't like the 14.
I like y'all to win by 10. That 14 is what pushes me.
Yeah, I mean, the 49ers going to win the game. I don't think there's any doubt about that. For me, it's just the Cardinals, they play well every game they played in. They've been winning in every game that they played in. So, like, I think I parlayed this game with a couple other games on the spread, but what I did was I bought this game down to minus, like I made San Fran -7. Because like the 14 to me is it's like the Cardinals have shown me a history in the last 3 games of, like they've had leads at each one of these games, and like I mean they're gonna make you earn a win. That's what I've seen from them.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like I said, like the Niners, they're gonna win the game. I don't have any doubts about that. But covering 14 in like the NFL is tough, man. So I just don't see that though.
All right. The worst primetime game of ever. They want to bring in Kansas City and the Jets. Kansas City favored by 8.5. Hold on. Did anybody do any props on their game? JMik, did you play with Sleeper or for the Kansas City game?
Nah,
so last night I hit Travis Kelce, right? I bet for the receiving touchdown, but I didn't pay attention until my daughter was sitting behind me. And she was like, why did they do his face like that? And this is what they have up there. On the actual site.
Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty. I don't like it, dog. I don't like it. I don't like it.
And I didn't know if anybody else seen it. So I was like, did they really do that? But I think Sleeper made a mistake for the first time. I think because I bet for the one receiving touchdown, right? And I inserted it. I went back like an hour later. I was like, I'm gonna do another ticket, and I went to see if the receiving touchdown was still there, and it wasn't. So I went to my ticket. I clicked on it to add it to my new ticket, and it was like, this offer is no longer valid. I was like, did they make a mistake by giving him one receiving touchdown and they tried to like
They had
snatch it
to.
off in time?
I think so.
They had to.
But I have it on one of my tickets though, and they ain't took it off.
Because I mean the Jets aren't good against the tight ends. I mean that's not the strength of their defense.
Would you
So I
guys
mean I
touch
put
any of the Jets props?
Who?
maybe
Garrett Wilson or Brees Hall? That's the only two I
maybe
seen
Brees
that I
Hall.
would.
No. Uh-uh.
They got him for
No,
50
sir.
yards, so he need 51 yards rushing to go over, and Garrett Wilson need 54 yards to go over.
I don't like none of it, bro. But I will say this, man. I don't think I think this game is going to be tight till somewhere around the third quarter, and they're going to start pulling away. Um, and I just feel like Kansas City going to weigh them down. I think that Jets off defense is going to come out humming, but they're going to run out of gas.
I don't know, man, because we literally just played them last week, and my offensive line is not even as good as the Chiefs' offensive line. And Mac Jones didn't get sacked one time. And so we talking about they have to go up against a better old line. The Chiefs guard center guard combo is a pretty good combo. I mean, if they couldn't sack Mac, I don't know how they're going to. If you can't sack Mahomes, bro, it's going to be a long day. Um, I mean, I do like the Chiefs plus the spread. As far as the player props go, if you're going to bet on anybody in the Jets, I probably would bet Brees Hall.
Yeah,
Um, Garrett Wilson didn't really do much last week, and I mean, yeah, the Patriots got a good corner in Christian Gonzalez, but the Chiefs got a good corner in McDuffie as well. So I just don't know how much production you're gonna get out of Garrett. So I mean, maybe you could take Alan Lazard, but I mean, his yards are probably low. His yards are
They
probably
need to
like
have a
20,
yard
25
prop for him
yards.
on sleeper.
Oh, really? Yeah,
They don't need.
I think on FanDuel and DraftKings they do,
Oh yes, they
but
do.
it's
Yes, they
low.
do. Yes, they do. It's 32.
who y'all talking about?
Uh,
Alan
uh,
Lazard.
Alan
Oh,
Lazard. It's not that high. I
Lazard.
mean, you yeah, I mean, you're taking a chance. For any player you pick on the Jets besides Brees Hall, in terms of
Yeah,
receiving yards, you're taking a chance. So I
yeah,
wouldn't do it, but I mean, for the people that do, I mean, power to you.
yeah. I agree with JMik. If the player that you're betting on is dependent on Zach Wilson, I can't touch it.
Oh no, that's why. Look, I usually take Garrett Wilson. Like all
Yeah,
last year, I took Garrett a lot, and then this year, I just once Aaron Rodgers went down, I was like, no more Garrett.
like he's just not seeing the field well right now, and Chris Jones is gonna make that worse, though. Chris Jones is a nightmare. And I think he gonna eat.
All right, so the last game on the list for today, Seattle, New York, and I think Seattle is favored by 1.5.
Hit me
Yeah,
out.
you're right. I mean, I like Seattle in the game. I mean, I was never on the Giants hype train in the preseason. I just wasn't on it. Like I thought they had a great year last year. I mean, like the team and the players and the coach maximized the talent last year. I felt like that they had, and they made the playoffs and they won a playoff game. I mean, props to them for that. But I mean, as far as the NFC playoff picture goes, I never had them making the playoffs. I'm not saying they was only going to win 3 or 4 games or nothing like that. Like I had them at about 8 or 9, but I mean, I just didn't see it, and I just think last year was an outlier season. And then they're going against Seattle. Seattle got a lot of weapons, and I think what Jamal Adams is coming back this week, and I mean Saquon is a game time decision. So if Saquon was to play, I might change my mind. But as it is right now, the information I have right now, like I got to see how it's covering that spread.
Yeah, I forgot all about the Saquon thing. I don't know why, cause I got that dude on my fantasy dog, and I'm 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 getting killed, bro. I'm getting killed with Saquon, and it's messed up because he played Monday, so I gotta make a decision, Sunday morning if I'm gonna risk it. But the way it's going for me, I might as well. If he don't play, either way, if he don't play, I'm gonna lose. I'm only projected to score like 112, and my opponent is projected to score like 138. So if he don't play, I'm gonna lose. If I start him and he don't play, I'm gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I might as well just start him because I'm gonna lose either way.
Yeah,
But
pretty much.
I think if it's all contingent upon Saquon. To be honest with you, I think Daniel Jones can get busy on that front seven, man. Seattle, I'm not seeing it. Same with the Jaguars. Everybody was talking about, this defense is going to get better. Now, I will say this. What's my name? God damn. What's the cornerback name? Um,
Are you talking about
they
Nick
Seattle,
Bolton?
Tyreek,
no the one that they drafted,
You talking about Wayne and Witherspoon?
yeah.
Witherspoon. He he's playing the run really well. Um, his coverage is a little shaky, but you're not getting no yak on him. But JSN, it has been a non-factor. That offense doesn't look good. They are running the ball better, but Gino has been getting pressure on and off. I don't like Seattle's offensive line. If Saquon was playing, man, I think this spread would be completely different. But if Saquon don't play, I don't think that Daniel Jones can do it by himself. The RPO threat just isn't going to be there for him to go crazy on them. So I'll probably take. I will wait. I will wait until the game. I will wait like 10 minutes before the game before I bet on this one. I wouldn't
I
put
mean,
this
me
in no
too.
parlays.
Mm-mm. If you
I mean,
bet in this game for me, I would bet this game by itself on
Yeah,
you, so it don't blow none of your tickets. Just straight up on your own, and if you take the parlays for this game, all on the same ticket. That's what I would do.
yeah,
If I'm taking a
yeah.
parlay, it's gonna be Seattle, New York by itself.
that makes
It's a
sense.
The
hard
only
ticket
the
to put
only
with other
thing
people.
the only sure thing that I would take, regardless if Saquon play, is God, what's going on today, man? What's that number two wide
Slayton
receiver?
or
Definitely.
Hodgins. Slayton or Hodgins.
No, no, no. That number two, the little short dude for Seattle.
Oh, you talking about Shepard?
Oh, Seattle. Tyler Lockett.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Lockett. I,
yeah.
I would take Lockett. I would look at his yards or his receptions.
They got him
That's
at
the only thing.
51.5 yards, and they got him at 4.5 receptions.
I'll probably take the receptions with Lockett. That's the only thing I would touch in a parlay with Seattle.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a
I
tricky
also
game. Oh, it's a
and also
tricky
like
game.
their like running back getting his yards in that game. I just can't think of his name on top of my head.
Walker.
Kenneth Walker. Yeah, yeah. I actually like his yards in this game.
I don't know, man. I think after what we did to them Thursday, I think New York front four gonna come out and try to play some ball.
I mean they could, but I think Kenneth Walker's yards are like somewhere between 60 to 70, I believe, somewhere in that range. So I think he could do
Yeah,
that.
63.5.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
not
would take
bad.
that. Like I mean he doesn't have to have a great game to get 63 yards. I think he should be able to get 65 yards in that game.
Yeah,
The one thing that made me about your pick right there, Jamie, the one thing that do make me willing to take that is because Pete Carroll, one of those guys, like even when the run not working, he's still committed. Like,
Oh yeah, he's definitely committed to the run.
he's committed.
So
Like he could be down 16 and he'll be like, "We running the ball."
oh yeah,
Except for when he
most
get to the
definitely.
1 yard line. My bad. My bad. When he
I
get
mean
to the
you
one
got
yard
I
to.
line, he
mean,
throws slants and gets a
I'm glad
loss
he
in the
did.
Super Bowl.
I mean, it doesn't bother me.
I mean you got to, man. Like Gino working out a play action is a completely different quarterback than when he dropping back. Like Gino out of play action, pretty good.
He really good. So yeah, I'm one of those people that was on that Seattle hype train, but they haven't showed me what I thought would be shown from what I seen in the offseason. I thought Jackson Smith and Jigba, Devin Witherspoon, and bringing back Bobby Wagner was going to really solidify this team.
Yeah,
And they look like they still kind of struggling. I'm with certified. If Saquon plays, I like the Giants to win this one. Without Saquon, though, I think Seattle pulls it off. You need time of possession in this type of game, and they're not going to
yeah,
be able to get it without Saquon. Daniel
That's
Jones
true.
doesn't scare anybody. Not just like straight up, hey, he finna run the ball like a Lamar Jackson or a Jalen Hurts. Nobody's scared of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, I think they
If you
also got to
don't
use
have an
higher better
RPO,
too.
if
Huh?
you don't have an RPO option for him, he's not a threat.
And I just think they got to get more usage out of Hyde. Man, they drafted the kid high, not first
Yeah,
round high, but high. And last week he hardly played. And I just think he gives them like a different element. Like, he gives them a deep threat element. And they didn't even have him on the field last week. So I just think that I ain't saying you got to throw him the ball, but at least have them on the field is going to create a threat.
I was talking to a Giants fan. I asked him, I was like, "Why y'all not using Hyatt?" They said, "Oh, he's only good at running a straight line."
Well, I mean,
Hello?
that was in the draft book. I mean, everybody knew that though.
I'm like, put him on the outside, let him run straight. I mean, and then he takes some of the pressure off the underneath passes. At least he's so fast, you got to cover him. You leave him 1-on-1, he beats the man, then you got a free touchdown. I mean, that's what I would do. It takes real time reps to get a guy used to what he needs to do. Putting him on the bench and just watching him with his helmet off ain't gonna help you figure out what he needs to work on. It just doesn't happen like that. Like putting him on the football field, which with practice, I know practice is what they say makes perfect, but practice ain't always cool because we friends. I might not play you as hard as I would if you was an enemy. It's just real. You got to let him figure it out, man.
Yeah.
but I hope
Certified.
Seattle loses.
You have a guy that don't want to be a running back no more. They had to figure out how to use him better as a receiver, right?
Oh, Debo.
Yeah, he said, I don't want to do all
Yeah.
that running. I'm a receiver. So now they're figuring out more inventive ways to get him the ball faster.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was in the spaces saying that Debo wasn't the best route runner, but over the last 3 weeks, man, he's kind of shown me that maybe I didn't know what I was talking about. Maybe it was more Jimmy than his route running ability. You know, I hope he plays, but we'll see.
Maybe you was right and he just worked on it.
That too, that too,
Or
that too.
maybe the way they was calling the plays, they was using them a lot on that motion, like they using Tyreek Hill motion, and he catch almost like a wheel route, or he catching it right there like a swing pass. Like they was just doing Debo a lot of ways, but they was across the middles, drag routes, slant routes. He didn't have to run a
Yeah,
lot of route trees.
yeah. I think our play calling has been pretty vanilla so far. I think that has a lot to do with us. We haven't really had any real opponents the first 4 weeks. Um, I expect my playbook to open up a little bit next week versus Dallas, but I don't want to get ahead of myself, man. We got a division opponent this week, so I want to take care of business, get out of there healthy, and
I
work
forgot
over them
Arizona is in your
Cowboys.
division. Forgot
Yeah.
about that. They be so at the bottom. I be forgetting they even exist almost sometimes. But and, hey man, I appreciate y'all, man. Everybody that came out. This is the first episode of the Check Down. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to get everything together, but the two gentlemen that's here with me, man, I really appreciate y'all, bro. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
man. I
I'm sure it's
appreciate
all
the
I'm a,
invite,
love.
brother.
as
Yeah,
we get better
same here.
with this, I think it's gonna be a better show. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you here and you was watching, send it to your peoples. We gave you some parlays. You can get you some money. We are educated gentlemen, man. We know football. We talk X's and O's every day. And if you find us on Twitter, listen, I'm gonna tell you like Certified told Buddy yesterday. If you're asking me a question, you better let me answer. Or you go look. Hey, JMik, he said you asked me a question, but do you want to answer it?
I hate when people do that, man.
Yeah, true that.
But hey, man, every day, you know what I'm saying? We on Twitter, man. You can find us in spaces. We're not always together, but we always somewhere close. You know what I'm saying? Tap in and just don't come with the hold on. Let me give you a whittle line. Uh there's a subscription out there for NFL Plus Premium. It's $14.99. It'll give you access to the all 22s. So you don't come in here with that bullshit and giving you a bad takes. But you know what I'm saying? Until next time, man, we appreciate all y'all for coming out.